Alright, hey guys, Fiddle Ferret here, and welcome back to another Manga First Take. And today we're going to be looking at Kamisama Kiss. And so, this is a series I bought a little while ago. I think I bought it way back at Christmas. I just read the first volume. I'm sorry it's taking me so long. But, I was reading some other stuff. I've been kind of behind on manga, but anyway. New shoujo manga to finally take a look at. And so, Kamisama Kiss. It was interesting, and I gotta say, I liked it quite a decent little amount. I mean, when I first started it, I wasn't so sure. But as the volume carried on, I found myself getting more engaged in the story and more engaged with the characters. And by the end of the story, I was generally interested to read and keep going to the next volume. And so first, we'll just talk about a little bit what this book is about. So, the story revolves around a teenage girl called Nanami. And so basically, the story starts off, her father is in gambling debt, and basically runs out on her, and which leaves her to be, tracked down by the debt collectors, and she's evicted from her apartment and homeless. So our story doesn't start out very well for our poor little heroine, and so right off the bat, she runs into a strange man who's being chased up a tree by a dog, and his name is Mikage. And so they both kind of seem to hit off because they both seem to be having troubles and their problems, and he offers her his old estate or old house, and basically says she's the new master, which is very weird, but she has nowhere else to go, so she decides, hey, I'll go and check it out. Come to find out, it's actually just an old shrine, and in this old shrine, she finds something rather interesting. So there, she finds a fox spirit, or kami, I think is how he's called, by the name of Tomo, and so Mikage, come to find out, was actually a Tochogami, which is according to the book, they're spirits of a specific land or area. And so basically Mikage was basically the master or owner or whatever you want to call of Tomo. So Nanami is now basically the new deity or the one that looks after the shrine, and Tomo is basically her familiar for all intents and purposes. And so things don't really go well. He is rather displeased with her presence because now a normal human girl with basically no powers has come to reside over this place and over him for all intents and purposes. So he basically leaves and goes back to the spirit realm, which I would assume. And so Nanami kind of bumbles around for a while. She kind of goes through the motions and realizes that she doesn't really belong here. And so, long story short, she decides to leave, but before she can, she gets into some trouble, and Tomo has to come and save her. But instead of saving her, some shenanigans go down, and they end up being linked closer than they probably ever both really planned, resulting in Nanami not really being able, or even necessarily wanting, to leave the shrine anymore. So this is basically kind of where the story really starts to branch off. And so it's the story about these two, and I think a lot of the base story is going to revolve around Nanami's and Tomo's relationship and how it goes forward, because he definitely seems to have a lot of reservations about her. The interesting thing I thought about reading this series is that I wasn't sure where it was going next. I don't know, obviously, right actually above me here, I have volumes 1 through 11, and then there are already 20 something other volumes out there. So I'm interested to see what route the story takes next, because Nanami is one thing I really liked about Nanami's character is that she was a really strong-willed female character. A lot of these female characters in these shoujo manga are always oh, the pretty guy, oh, look at him, he's so gorgeous and handsome, and I just want him, but he's so bad boy. Well, this isn't really like that. She has some of those thoughts, but a lot of it is more of putting Tomo in his place and really being stubborn, and them having this kind of, butting heads kind of relationship. But you can see that the two have already started to form a deeper bond that they don't necessarily want to share with each other or let the other know about, because half the time they're fighting or in some sort of argument. But you can tell that there is definitely a mutual connection and caring there, in that relationship. So it's interesting to see, because you can definitely see that. Because the thing about Nanami being a Tochigami is that she is very vulnerable, being as weak as she is. So she's going to have to rely very heavily on Tomo himself. And so this also brings up an interesting dynamic of her to get more powerful. Is she going to develop, and what is it about Mikage, this other character, that will probably come back into the mold here at some point? And you also haven't got much of a past on Tomo, so being like a fox spirit deity, you know, rebel, almost bad boy thing, he definitely seems to care about the shrine a lot. So it's definitely interesting to see why he necessarily has an attachment to the shrine, how he came to be here with Mikage, and all that kind of thing. So definitely interesting stuff. I actually really liked Kamisama Kiss. I almost couldn't say it right because we all know I have troubles because I'm a bit mentally retarded. Anyway, that was really interesting. One thing I did like about it was it strayed a little bit away from that typical shoujo style. You can definitely tell Tomo the Fox Spirit guy, he definitely fit that pretty boy mold that's always in these books, but it wasn't, as I've talked about this before, there wasn't like a lot of like frills and puffiness to the art. It was more of a straightforward but with real pretty characters, and so I did like that. I did enjoy that about this, and I'm looking forward to reading more of the series. But anyway guys, I hope I didn't ramble on for you too much, and I do hope if you think about going ahead and picking up the series, I hope you enjoy it. But anyway guys, I'm Fiddle Fair, and I'll see you back on the prowl next time. Bye bye!